Hey everyone, it's Aquila, and this is the Lefty Knitter Podcast, episode 91. Thank you to everyone who comments and subscribes and likes, and welcome to any new people, and welcome back to any old viewers. Thank you very much. I live in Baltimore with my husband, kid, 3 cats. Lots of yarn. I post a video every Saturday, almost every Saturday. I've been very good at it. And it's clips throughout my week. So you might see like a whole project finished in 1 week if it's like something simple like a hat. You never know. Okay, feeling goofy today. Let's see. So, I do have a knitting group here in Baltimore. We are pretty small. We've been together quite a few years. One of our members had moved away about, maybe 5 years now. I don't even know. So, and her mom also knit. So when we saw that she was back in town, we were all kind of like, wonder what's going on, etc. Well, her mom ended up being a little bit sick. So, yeah. So she is there helping clean out, her house a little bit. Her mom's gonna move in with her brother. Too much information for you guys to all know. Long story short, she put a call out to arms with her knitting group here and was like, I have a ton of yarn. Not all of it's like, you know, indie dyed or whatever. Some of it's big box store. Some of it's like knit picks. It's just a big mess. Not a big mess. It's a lot of yarn. She's like, I would like you guys to go through it first, see if there's anything in it that you would want, and then if not, just donate it, because she's not going to be knitting anymore. So, one of the girls went and picked up all the stuff. We all had a social distancing yarn party, and we went through a bunch of the stuff. We did end up donating quite a bit of it, which was okay, but I did scavenge some yarn for cranking some hats for donation. Hats, scarves, all that stuff. The donation that I talked to you about in the last episode, which is for the county school system, and it's the Share the Warmth drive. So they want all these different things, and they will accept handmade items. So that is very exciting. So I did end up getting a bunch of that. I'll show you that in a minute. But one of the things in there was actually a really nice ball of sock yarn. I don't know how nice because I've never actually used it. So there was actually 2 balls that I thought was sock yarn. I'm going to try the other one again. It just didn't want to agree with my speedster back there. It was like, nope, not happening. But it had been the first time I used my machine in probably over a month. So it could have just been me. User error. Which, with the knitting machines, whether it's like the Addi, sorry, I'm pointing down here because my Addi machine's here. Whether it's, you know, an Addi or one of the Centros or one of those other plastic knitting machines, you need to have patience. There's a learning curve. And with that thing, there is definitely a learning curve, right? So I tell everybody, you just have to have patience. Take your time. Step away from it if you need to. Even with your knitting. Like, that's the same thing with hand knitting. Put it down. Put it in time out. Yeah. So this yarn, so the girl that went and picked up the yarn, I told her I would like to crank her a tube out of this and give it back to her. My cat is playing with a monster truck toy. Luna. Okay, I'm sorry. Interruptions. So, I've never used this. It's a Broco, and it is called Comfort Sock, and it's a sock weight. But I've never used this combination of fibers. I don't even know if you consider it fiber. I've never used this combination of materials on my knitting machine, on my Erlbacher. So it's a 50% superfine nylon and a 50% superfine acrylic. And it is a number 1. And it's 100 grams. And it's 447 yards. So it was definitely like a sock weight yarn. but I've never used it. So it just says comfort sock. I'm not quite sure. She paid probably $8 because it has the price sticker from the yarn shop. It has a dye lot number. I don't know if they have names for theirs. I could look it up. I could try. So I cranked the whole tube with the intentions of giving Danny the whole... Oh, I was trying not to mention names. Sorry, Danny. With the intentions of giving her the whole thing, and she can make herself a pair of socks and then do whatever she wants with the rest. And she offered to give me half of it back, and I said, no, like, make your daughter a matching pair, or make your mom a matching pair, somebody. And because it's definitely enough for 2 pairs once you add in cuffs, toes, and heels. This is doubled. So even to get, say, 4 socks out of that, that's a lot of yarn. Once you add a toe and a cuff and put in a heel. Sorry, my light's kind of right above me because it's recessed lighting, but you kind of get the shadows when I turn it. I thought this was still really pretty, and for being all man-made fibers, this cranked beautifully on my machine. And it's actually really not bad feeling either. So I don't know if it's going to be as comfortable as like a sock that has wool in it, but most of the socks that you buy, like, you know, you go to the dollar bin and you get socks, they're all man-made materials. You're not getting wool in those. So yeah, one big old tube. I am going to retry that other yarn though. I'm going to put this back in the bag. I'm going to drop this off in her mailbox at some point this week. So I'm excited to be able to gift this to her as a thank you for going and picking up all that yarn for us. So let me show you. I cranked 3 things. Hayes already claimed a headband. I'll put a picture in here out of this sparkly black and pink. Caron Simply Soft is what that was. The black was not Caron. I have the label, I think, for that. So I cranked these on my Addi Express, just in case you don't know. I put a link down below where you're to the Addi website. It is not like an affiliate link. It is not a link where you can buy it, I don't think. It's just a link to their website showing you the product. There might be then links from there to go buy it. I'm not quite sure. I just put the link directly to the company's website because I feel like that is the most accurate way for me to show you which machine I have. Oh, so when we opened some of the yarn, the bins, it was like 4 bins. I took a whole bin of yarn. When we opened some of the bins, there were some hats already in there that were already made. So a hat and a headband, and a cowl, I think. So I'll show you those real quick. So this was one of the hats she had made. There was some ends. I already took care of those. This was another hat. This one's kind of cute. It's real chunky. And then one more hat. This one has ear flaps on it. Super cute. So I'm going to donate all these also to the Share the Warmth. She had already made them. I think it's perfect. And we're helping her do... She, I think, donated lots of stuff to the hospitals and stuff. So, a cute little headband. It's navy and brown and white. And then, I believe this would be like a cowl, not so much a headband. That's nice colors. So, those were already in there and made. So, that was really nice. That sparkly black yarn I told you about was Cherub Erin by Cascade. So of course this is not a big box store yarn, although Cascade is a bigger brand name yarn, not like an indie dyed yarn. It's still, you know, not a box store yarn. So it was a mix of stuff in there. So I made the double layered hat out of it, and that turned out really nice. This is really soft yarn. I don't know. It's all acrylic, I think. Yeah. It's nylon acrylic metallic. So slide that label back on there. I mean, I won't donate it with the label. And then this one I thought turned out really cute. She had some really cute baby yarn in there. But for a little girl, I thought this was super cute. So, and it is also reversible. It is the same thing on the inside though. So I didn't do different color. So I thought that turned out really, really cute. Yeah. And then in the bin, this is something I'll have to hand knit, but I think it would be great to donate because some little girl would probably really love it, or older girl, even in high school. I don't know. If you love pink, how many people remember this? Because this was like a hot commodity and stores were selling out like super fast. Sorry for a little bit of the crinkle. Ready? I know everybody's gonna remember these. Boom! The ribbon yarn. I think different companies made it. This is one of the ones I remember though. This is the Red Heart Boutique sachet yarn, and you make those ruffle scarves. And I'll be able to make 2 because there's 2 in here, and you only need 1 ball to make a scarf, especially if it's going to be for a younger child. You don't need it to be really giant. So this is colorway 22, and I'm excited. I made quite a few of these myself, and I know they were just like a novelty thing, and they were really, really popular. I don't even know if they make this anymore. If they do, I don't know. I probably wouldn't buy it anyway, but for the donation purposes, I'm gonna make it. How many people, I would like to comment down below, had made these, and how many do you think you made? Because I would guess that I probably made 10, maybe 12. I'm almost sure if you didn't make them, you knew people that were making them. Or you ended up getting one as a gift, maybe? I don't know. I'm not gonna do that on camera. So, I also cranked another tube. I had already cranked this one, and I had to buy a second ball, because this is folded. This is gonna make 1 sock. It's not gonna make 2. And I was like, well, I might as well, they still make this yarn. I'm going to buy another ball, which I did. And it's the Patons Croy FX yarn. So it doesn't self-stripe because it's, I mean, it does kind of self-stripe, but in a fading, marled way. This is the Clover Colors colorway. They do look a little different. I only know this is the second one because my waist yarn now is green. And this is my first waist yarn color. I left a little bit of yarn at the end because I am going to just pull it out and make a toe. And I don't know, I might just do a folded brim type for the cuff. A folded cuff was what you would call it, I guess. I'm going to do that. And then I will knit a heel in, and these are going to be a Christmas present for a family member because there's only like 2 people in my family, not including like my immediate family of my husband and whatnot, that get anything like that's nicer. Is that terrible? It's not terrible. And so this will be for one of those 2 people. Boy. Alright, I talked a lot already in the first clip. Yeah, until the next time, see ya. Hey guys, I'm in my kitchen, so this is not really fiber related, but it is Wednesday, and it is the 18th of November, and it is my husband's birthday. So I made him this dessert once, and now I have to make it all the time. It is a double layer cheesecake, pumpkin pie cheesecake. So 1 layer cheesecake, 1 layer pumpkin pie. Not quite traditional pumpkin pie, but he loves it. So I'll be making that. Do you guys in your family have like a recipe that you have to make for a certain person, or it's their favorite dessert or whatever like that? Tell me down below. I'd like to know. There's not like any other really go-to desserts that I make, although we have a family recipe that's on my husband's side that we make their sugar cookies. But yeah, so I'm gonna make the pumpkin pie cheesecake. Really what it is you make your cheesecake mix, and then you take a layer of that and you put that in the bottom of your pie, and then you add pumpkin, canned pumpkin, to the remaining mixture that's in your bowl and you add the spices to it. I did not have, which is very strange, or else I just can't find it in my spice cabinet, nutmeg. So what I'm going to end up using is I have actual pumpkin pie spice. And I actually have 2 of these. This one is from Imperfect Foods. I subscribe to their box. I get one every other week. And then this is the McCormick, which is here. It's a Baltimore thing. McCormick pumpkin pie spice. And what's in this is really cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice. So it's got everything in it that you need. Although this doesn't call for ginger. This calls for cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg, the recipe. Now this one has cinnamon, ginger, lemon peel, nutmeg, cloves, cardamom, star anise, fennel, and black pepper. I'm probably going to use this one. I really liked it. I used it the last time I made something with pumpkin, so I used this one. Probably going to put the McCormick one away. Sorry, McCormick. While the pie is baking, I didn't do anything with my hair other than throw it up in a clip today. It's most days. I really need to figure out what I want to do, get a haircut or whatever, I don't know. While that's baking, I want to show you progress on my Poe socks. These are the Halloween 13 stripe Advent for Halloween socks by Malia Made It. And I am no longer attached to the ball. So, when I'm looking at this, I think I have 2 more repeats total. So that means there was 6 repeats total in the whole ball. At least that's what it looks like. I'm pretty sure it is. I have 2 finished tubes with cuffs and toes. Last time you saw them, I had finished one. I had cast on the second one and I was here and I've now finished. But, well, I'm going to add in my heels, but they match pretty well, right? A little bit more white on this one, the second one. I did more rows of cuff on one. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Because when I cut my heels in, I'm going to be cutting my heels in from my toe to wherever my heel is going to be. And then the leg of the sock will just be a little bit longer. I don't care. I'm not ripping out, because I did these cuff to toe, cuff up. I'm not ripping out cuff to fix that. It's not happening. They're just going to be, I think I did like 5 rows. I mean, that's not much. Look. So my plan though, so I'm going to use the same color cream for my heels and they're going to be done. I'm going to cut those in, do a true afterthought heel. If you've never done one, I highly suggest that you try it. Do not just do it on a full-blown sock. I suggest making something small. Small tube, just a small tube. Cut in a few stitches somewhere and pick it up and add a smaller, like a small heel onto that tube. It will get you over the fear of cutting your yarn. Just do it. That way, then, you know, you're not feeling guilty that you cut a small piece of your yarn. Just a small sample. Yes. So, my plans. I have plans for the rest of this yarn. Because it's a self-striping, I don't really want to put it in my blanket. I want to use it in another project. So, I'm going to put this on my sock machine. And I'm going to crank one whole repeat of the color. And then I'm going to change to something else. I haven't fully decided if this is what I'm going to use or not. But, so I'm going to, like I said, crank the 13 colors. Then color B. And then I'm going to put in some waste yarn. Crank 13 colors. And then crank color B. And this is going to be the leg of the foot. The leg of the sock. And whatever that color B is going to be the foot of the sock. And I'm going to make a pair for John. I asked him if he would wear these, and he said he would, and that makes me so happy that we'll kind of have matching-ish socks. The tops will be the same. So I wanted something kind of neutral, which I didn't want to also break in the whole skein of yarn that I have, which I don't even know what I would have in my stash that would work. But I have a hat that I made, and I never wear it. And it's a nice fingering weight yarn, and I think it would kind of be pretty neat with these socks as the feet. So I'm not going to show the whole hat because I don't not like the hat, I just don't wear it. So I'm going to reclaim the yarn. So, you know, you have projects probably, I know I have shawls that I never wear. I should really reclaim the yarn. So that might be like something I do in 2021. Start reclaiming some of the yarn. So this is Cherry Tree Hill. I'm not sure if they still dye or not. And I think it was called Typewriter. I can't remember. But I'm gonna rip this out. And I'm gonna use this, I believe, as my color B in John's socks. So yeah. I think that'll be cool. So I'm gonna find my ends, unweave them, and rip it out. I'm gonna put it on my nitty knotty, and then I'm gonna tie it off like a skein again, because it's been like this for probably a year. I need to relax the yarn again. So put it on my nitty knotty, make the skein, wash the yarn, put it back into, it'll be in skein form again, and then I will wind it onto a cone so I can use it on my sock machine. That's my plan. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be really fun. And then I'll probably also use this yarn to do toes, cuffs, and heels on those socks because I'll have plenty of it. I think that's a good idea. All right. I'm gonna keep watch on the timer for John's pie, and I gotta clock in for work because it is 8:52. Yay. I need coffee. I haven't done that yet. I took the kid to school, and then I hurried up and got home so I could make pie. Okay, everybody, it is Thursday, and it's the 19th. I should know that. John's cheesecake turned out really awesome, and the place we wanted to go eat, the second half part of the restaurant, which has more tables, was closed, and the bar was packed, and the booths were packed, and I was like, nope. So we went to the local diner. So, yeah. I ordered, okay. Apparently, not everybody in the United States knows what this is, and maybe even in other countries. Cream chip beef. Ever heard of cream chip beef? Okay. It is chipped beef that has been like salt cured, I guess, and it's real thin. That's why they call it chipped, because when you get your lunch meat, you can get it chipped at the deli, and it's like really fine and falls apart and whatever. Yeah. It's chipped beef, and you make a white gravy that goes with it, and you serve it over toast or fried potatoes. You can serve it over mashed potatoes. I mean, It's awesome. It's so good. If you have a military member in your family that is of an older generation, they may have called it shit on a shingle. So I love it. So it's a little salty, yes, because it's like a cured meat. But John had never heard of it before growing up in Florida. Apparently they don't have it down in Florida, which I find weird. But we also have a company here called SK. So if you've never heard of SK, well, I don't know where the plant is now, but my uncle actually used to work for them. It's a meat manufacturing plant, and they have like, their big thing was hot dogs, like SK hot dogs. And people in the neighborhood even call my uncle SK, so because he worked there for so long. Sorry, long stories short. So I got cream chip beef, and they bring it out, and I'm like, well, that's an odd color. It wasn't really white, and it didn't really look like cream chip beef. And I was like, I'm not a complainer. If it's not edible, I will complain. But what they ended up serving me was sausage gravy, which I think a lot more people have heard of sausage gravy, over toast with the potatoes. It wasn't even really great sausage gravy, so it was kind of disappointing, because I do like sausage gravy. I make a pretty killer sausage gravy myself, but it was kind of disappointing. So and then John got country fried steak, if you've ever heard of it, but it's chicken. I know, that's so weird. Chicken fried steak is what it's called, sorry, but it's like, I don't know, whatever. And it's supposed to come with a white gravy too, and that also came with like a brown like chicken gravy. It was just not on point. And we don't really frequent that diner as often. We usually go to our more local diner, but this one was close to the restaurant we first picked. Alright, all to say that it was a good night, and we had pumpkin cheesecake. I can try to insert it. I have a picture that I took. I can insert it here of a slice of it or something. Yeah. So I took that Advent stripe yarn and I put it on my cone for my sock machine. There's actually 3 repeats here, but I'm not going to use all 3 for John's socks. I'm going to continue my plan, and I'm going to have 1 repeat left, and I might end up making Z something with it. Like a hat, because it is such a fun stripe, and then just do like the brim of it in the color, and then the rest of it in whatever color she picks, or maybe some fingerless gloves for some little fingerless mitts for her. I would have to still use another yarn, but that's okay. I also ripped out that hat. I reskeined it up on my Niddy Noddy. I tied it with ties while it was on my Niddy Noddy. I took it off. I soaked it to get all the kink out, and then I hung it up to dry. It is now dry, so this is ready to go on my Swift and to be put on a cone also, and it's so nice and soft. I love it. So you can tell it has no kinks in it. I can unwind it. I'm going to be putting it on my Swift anyway, so it looks just like as if I bought it. It's not kinked up at all. It doesn't look like I ever knit with it. And I'm excited to use this as the secondary color, so I'm going to do that. And then Tuesday, I cast on another project. I'm waiting on yarn for John's sweater. I did not have enough. I did not have any extra balls. I don't know what's going on. So I ordered more yarn, so I'm waiting for that to do his sweater. I got to put the heels in my socks yet. I haven't done that. Just haven't had the time or the right light to cut in a heel. So I cast on, when I was with my knitting girls, I saw my friend, I'll say Elle. I don't know if people want me saying names, so Elle. Whatever. She was knitting this hat, and I was like, oh, what is that? Because it looked really nice, and she told me that it ran a little small. Now, I am a little concerned, because it does look like it runs a little small. But this is called the Rocky Ridge hat, and it's by Knox Mountain Knit Company, and it calls for a DK / light worsted, And it comes in all different sizes. I made the second largest size, which is the adult medium, which with my DK weight yarn, mine is a DK weight yarn, I cast on 90 stitches. So it is a free pattern. This is yarn that I used in my Camaro sweater, and it is from Neighborhood Fiber Company, and this is called the Poppleton color. If you don't know enough about the Neighborhood Fiber Company, Karida is the owner. They're local here in Baltimore, and she names her colorways based on places around the Baltimore, DC metro area, and this one is called Poppleton. I don't think I've ever been to Poppleton, but I liked this colorway when we went in the store that day, and I had to have it. I'm a green girl, you know that by now, and I've already cast on, and yeah. So it gives like a faux mock rib kind of thing. So since it's free, I can actually just tell you. You do a 1x2 rib down here, so 2 knit 1 purl, and then when you come up to here, it's a 2-row repeat, and you knit 1 row, and then the second row is purl 2 knit 1, and then you repeat those 2 rows. So you get like this cool little like mock rib action going on. I really like it. I think it looks really good in this. I was worried I might lose it a little bit because it is a variegated yarn, but I think it turned out really nice. So yeah, so I cast this on. I gotta knit this for 8 inches and then see where I'm at. I had enough yarn. It said I have enough yarn, so we'll see. It looks so small though. I don't want to try putting it on my head. Well, I can fit it over my head. It'll be okay. And it is supposed to be slouchy, I think, in the pictures. Now my hair is even more crazy than it was. All right, so happy Thursday, y'all. I'm definitely coning this up, and hopefully during my lunch hour, knitting the tubes for John's socks, and then that part will be done, and I just have to put toes and cuffs and whatnot in his also. So it'll just be some light knitting to finish up a pair of socks for him. So I'm excited for that. He got Crocs for his birthday, and he was posting them on like social media, and everybody's like laughing and joking and whatnot because he's wearing a plain white pair of like tube socks, and you can see through the Croc, you know, because Crocs have holes. He's like, I feel like a real dad now because I have my first pair of Crocs. He's so weird. So I have to get him some more socks made. I was like, well, now you gotta wear your knitted socks with your Crocs. And then we'll just have a whole alliteration rhyming jazz session with Hazel talking about socks and Crocs. Sorry, that was way off tangent. So he now needs some more knitted socks, apparently. So this machine might be coming in really handy for him to have more socks. Crazy. Chip beef, y'all. Try it. Hey everybody, it is now Friday, November 20th. I turned my ring light on and you can see it in my glasses, and it's very distracting. If I keep my head down like this, you can't really see it. That's just terrible. Let me just turn it off. You're supposed to buy like non-reflective glasses or something, right? Or however that works. Can I just turn it down? Nope. Okay. Well, the light's not terrible. This is what I've been recording with, but I was trying to make it a little bit better for my viewers. Let me know if the ring light would be distracting. I could always just do it without my glasses. I don't need my glasses to see up close, so there's always that. I'm wearing my Camaro sweater, so if you've never seen this before, my heater's right behind me. I need to be careful. This is by, the pattern is Tanis, Lavallee, Tanis Fiber Arts. It's a DK sweater. Not all of the yarn is DK because I didn't have a lot of DK, so this is DK, this is DK, this is what I'm making that hat out of, And this is DK. Everything else is fingering weight held double. I think it turned out fine. My Halloween Advent socks are finished for all podcasting sake. I have to weave in a few ends, but I've tucked them in to show you guys. I'm very happy with how they turned out, even though I screwed up and did more rows of ribbing on one sock than the other. It really doesn't matter. I think they look awesome. So it ended up being, my heel ended up being cut in before the repeat. I was hoping it would be right in the middle, but you know, it's okay. So yes, there are two. They're cut in the same spot. The only thing different is obviously my cuffs on one is a little bit longer than the other, but it's barely noticeable, but they match and I really like them. So I'll be taking pictures and putting these on Instagram. So these are done. You won't see these again. I just have to weave in a few ends. Obviously I have to weave in, tighten, you know, where I picked up the afterthought heel. The only thing that I did different that I've never done on socks before is, so the Patton's yarn, which is what I did my heel and my cuff in, was a little bit thicker than the fingering that, of the dyed yarn. So instead of going down, I do my heels usually the same as my toes, down to 12 stitches. I went down to 18 because the yarn is thicker. So what I did was I matched up my toe and my heel to get like the same length for the decreases. So they decrease at the same spot and end at the same spot. I just have more stitches on the heel than I do on my toe, which is perfectly fine. I knew it didn't matter how wide this was here, it matters the depth. So as long as it was as deep as like the toe is, I know that fits my foot well. So yeah, that's the only difference. So it's 18 stitches instead of 12. There you go. So those are done. Yay, finished object. I also told you guys my plan with that yarn, the leftover yarn, and I did crank that yesterday. So let me show you. I had to put in some double pointed needles because I had a dropped stitch or two. So I just didn't want to drop down into the stripy yarn. So here is cranked on the tube. Looks the same, right? It doesn't look any different. This is scrap yarn, so ignore the green. This was cranked all the way to about where there would have been the white stripe, which I stopped because I had the white starting at the top. Not a big deal. And then I cranked 90 rows of this yarn. This is Cherry Tree Hill, I believe. And because I'd taken a sock of John's and measured or counted how many rows. I know that's not always accurate, but I'm going to be doing the toes in this too, so I'll just pick up or pull back wherever I have to, and I'll cut in the heel. And then I put some waste yarn so I could separate it, cranked a second repeat of the same thing. So I will cut that in half and I'll have then 2 tubes to make 2 socks. Yay! I think that looks really cool. And John doesn't mind that it's a little funky. And yeah, so I still have, you probably can't see the cone because it's behind the drill, 1 repeat left of the stripe, which I think I might make a hat for Hayes out of it. There you go. That's what I have. Oh, I did crank 2 more hats that I didn't show. This one looks exactly like the other one, except for the other one had a pink top and it was pink, the rainbow color, whatever, and then pink at the other end. So when you reversed it, it was pink on both sides at the tops. This one I just reversed. And then this one I thought was really fun. Although my machine was having a huge problem with this red heart. I think this red heart was a thicker, I think it's more, like red heart makes a few different weights, and number 4 works great on the machine. 5 is, you get a little, I think this is probably more of a 5. So I cranked that, and I thought that was really fun. And this side, I had ran out of the white, so it's just blue and red. And this is a different red than the other red. Not that you can probably tell. It's a little darker. And I thought those were fun. So 2 more hats to donate. I might try to make a run to the Hallmark store this weekend to drop off what I have. So they can start distributing. It's starting to get cold here. And yeah. Washington, D.C. announced this morning they're going to be shutting down all the Smithsonian museums again and the art galleries starting today and tomorrow. And the zoo. They're closing the zoo down too. I don't know how they do that. I guess they do have some sort of gates because the zoo is like practically open 24 hours a day. Well, it's like dusk till dawn, I think, is really what it is. But you see runners in there like super early running. But they must have some sort of gates to be able to stop people from coming in at all the different places to enter, because it is free to go to the Smithsonian Zoo. So there's all different entrances to the park. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that, and there's those. And yeah, tomorrow I'll be rounding this video up. I'll try to keep it short because I know this is already pretty long. Yay. Okay, everybody, it's Saturday, and let's round this video up. I have nothing new to show you. Well, I guess I could. I could just show you real quick. Look. I made a little bit of progress on my hat. Well, I should say a lot of progress, really, because I am ready. I have like 4 rounds of decrease stuff, and I'm done. So I will end up showing you this as a finished object on the next video. It's pretty. I really like it. That's it. John will not be on this episode. He's outside. I'm getting ready to go outside also, but I wanted to get this last clip in and yeah, round it up. So, other than watching some Netflix stuff, well, Catastrophe is on Amazon Prime. We've talked about that. We've been watching that. And then Mr. Robot came out with another season, and we watched all of those, and now the new season is out. It's a little bit odd, but it has, oh God, Malik is his last name? No. I always remember him from, he played like King Tut from the Night at the Museum movie. Malik Rahim, I can't remember. We've been watching that. And then other than that, I did find a new podcast to watch, which is Piece for Piece Crafting. So if you haven't watched his YouTube channel, you should go check it out. He finished the sweater, which is also by Maxim Sear, so I'm doing the one with the flowers. He did the one with the foxes. I think it's called So Foxy, maybe. I don't remember. And for his first time ever doing like 3-color work like that, amazing. I thought it turned out really well. There's always tips and tricks to learn when you're knitting and on new types of methods. So, and it just takes practice and time, you know, so I'm sure his next one is going to be even better, and then the next one after that is just going to, the progress is just going to keep getting better, because that's how knitting goes, right? You learn a new process, or you learn something new just in general, and over time and over projects, it gets better. So if you haven't checked him out, I think his name's Michael. We messaged on Instagram, and I was like, I need to be your bestie, because he started talking about records, and I was like, yes! And, you know, even though people might not always have the same taste in music, I just love the fact that people still own record players. That's like been such a huge thing in our lives, and I love it. I love it so much. Thank you to anybody who actually participated in my vinyl roulette that I played on my personal Instagram channel. I asked you guys to give me a bin number and a record number, and I went through the bins, found the record, and played a song from it and then tagged the people that I had suggested that bin and number. And that was really fun. It brought out some records that I'm like, I don't even know who this band is. And it brought out some records that were really fun and exciting. At some point, I really screwed up when I was pulling from bin 8 and it should have been bin 6. I can't count, apparently. Counting is important in knitting and crocheting and my job. But that's beside the fact. All right, let me finish this up. This is another long one, and I'm sorry. Stay tuned for Hazel videoing herself a little bit for what she calls Haze TV. I do not upload them to any platform. She has fun just making them, and we enjoy giggling with her watching them back. So this one was about slime. So I'll put a little bit of her at the end of this clip. So until the next time, knit happy y'all, and I'll see you then. Bye.
The video's over. Click the subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. Bye.
Let me